The story begins at the Lanster Kingdom in Oran Empire. This lady here was a teacher, and she's telling her students that as long as they could focus, they could feel magic. But this guy was not buying it. He was stuck in here with these kids learning the most basic step towards magic. This is the main protagonist of this story. His name was Lin Lanster. He has been stuck learning magic at preschool level for 8 years now. The kids around his age can already use basic magic. In his case, he couldn't even feel the magic molecules around him. But Lin can't afford to let things just be like this. He needs to become a sage-level mage so he could learn the truth about something. While he was lost in thought, he got hit with something. This kid then immediately went towards Lin and apologized. He said he got carried away practicing magic, but the truth is he did that on purpose. This kid was mocking Lin because he's a noble that can't use magic. These kids then tried to get on Lin's nerves. He can't really do something about it at all because in this world, nobles were supposed to have dominant and powerful magic abilities. But as these kids were teasing Lin, this knight butted in. Lin then asked this knight to put down his sword. The knight followed it, and this gave these kids a chance to run. Lin then told this knight that his sword was not intended to be used against commoners. Mr. Carl, the knight, then apologized to Lin. He then told Lin his main purpose for coming to him. He said that Lin received a letter from a man named Mr. Oliver. Apparently, this Mr. Oliver was the one who hid Lin when the accident that cost him his parents happened. This old man also knew that Lin can't use magic at all, so he had been helping him since. After that, Lin went back to their mansion. He was greeted by this man, Blaine Lanster, who was the eldest brother of Lin's mother. Lin addressed his uncle as his father because they have been hiding Lin from something. They then proceed to the study room where they will read the letter from Mr. Oliver. Mr. Blaine casted his magic on this paper bird, and after that, it started talking. The paper bird told these two that it has something that could help Lin learn magic. The bird then summoned this magic book. The book was immediately given to Lin. As he received it, he remembered the countless times he tried learning magic. He's now wondering if he could succeed this time. Mr. Blaine saw this sadness on Lin's face and he tried to console him. He told Lin that he could stay and pretend to be his son for as long as he wants to. Turns out, Lin was abandoned by his father, and he has been bearing the responsibility of becoming a sage-level mage to find out more about it. But Lin knew something might have happened. His father loved Lin so much, and there's no way he could abandon him just like that. This thought gave Lin more reasons to learn magic. Later that night, Lin was lying at his bed and stared at this magic book. He then remembered something when he was just a child. His father was not always home, but every time he came back, he'd make sure that he had something for Lin to make him happy. That same memory was the last time Lin saw his father. It was supposedly the last expedition that his father will conduct before their family gets to enjoy their time forever. But his father never came back, and at the same time, his mother went missing. Lin was left all alone, and the only way he could do it was to learn magic so that he'll have the power to uncover this mystery. And now, he hopes that this book will help him achieve his goal. Lin then decided to try it again, and he sat down. Our MC started meditating, and these blue auras started to surround him. But because his eyes were closed, he didn't notice any of it. He thought that he had failed again. Then, he saw these orbs and realized that he can now perceive magic. This gave Lin hope, and it made him very happy. But then something happened. He started to cough blood. He thought that his body was about to explode and he'd die. He knew that he couldn't let this happen. Lin mustered all of his strength to endure this feeling, and then everything went black. He was transported somewhere, but as he was thinking of ways to get out of this mess, he felt something in his hands. Lin found a red egg and grabbed it. He was then shocked because this notification popped out. It greeted Lin. This system introduced itself to our MC as his butler, and it has been waiting for about 10 years now. It also told Lin that there's this place that belongs to him, and this place was called Dragon Ranch. Lin was transported again to this small island. He started to absorb the information that was given to him, and the first thing he thought was this dangerous dragon. The system then informed him that the egg in front of him was a dragon. This will be Lin's first dragon egg. The butler also informed him that he needs to raise this dragon first before he could even come back to his world. Lin got furious because he knew that there's no way he could raise this dragon. He's scared of being eaten by it right away, and after a while, the egg started to crack open. The butler also informed Lin that he needs to drop some blood on it or else it will really eat him alive. Lin knew he had no other choice. He then bit his thumb. The egg was already close to hatching. He then immediately placed his hand above the egg. After this, a ray of red light started to appear above the egg. The system then informed Lin that the imprinting process was successful. This red baby dragon was now fully hatched, but Lin can still believe that this little guy will one day become the most terrifying creature in the world. Its eyes were still covered with its shell, so it bumped into Lin's knees. Our MC then helped this little guy and removed the remaining shell on its head. But then the baby dragon got mad. It doesn't want to be touched by a human. It then gave Lin a kick on his face. At this exact moment, Lin confirmed that this creature was indeed a dragon. A series of notifications popped out. Lin gained 1,000 gold and 5 experience points for owning his first dragon. The gold in game is equivalent to the gold in the real world, and it can be used to expand the ranch. A new task appeared and it asked Lin to make a fire habitat for this little dragon. While he was navigating the system, the little dragon was still whining. He refuses to receive anything from Lin. The fire habitat costs 100 gold and Lin bought it. He placed it beside his small island. And as soon as it was built, he got another 5 experience points and 50 gold. This fire habitat gives him a limit of 500 gold per day, and it allows the fire dragon to grow 1 level per day. Charmander was so happy. I mean, this little dragon. It immediately went in and swam on the lava. And since all it can say was yeah, Lin decided to call it yeah. Not long after yeah received its habitat, he fell asleep. Lin then decided to complete more tasks recommended by the system. He placed some dragon fruit farms for Ye's food supply. Since he has already completed the tutorial, Lin was allowed to exit this ranch. With a flick of his fingers, Lin was slowly transported back to his world. His body fell back down to his bed, and when he woke up, he saw 3 people watching over him. It was these 3, and they seemed to be worried. Lin asked them why they were in his room. They revealed that they saw Lin floating up into the ceiling. He blew off the ceiling, but our MC was confused as to why they seemed to be happy. Mr. Blaine then revealed that Lin had released a very powerful magical energy while he was unconscious. Lin couldn't believe it, so he tried using magic again and it really worked. He thought that this was because of the book that Mr. Oliver gave to him. While these 2 were celebrating, Lin disrupted them. He asked Mr. Carl to follow the instructions of this book on how to cultivate, but Mr. Carl didn't feel anything. Even Lin's uncle, Mr. Blaine, didn't find out about the ranch. Lin then figured out that he's the only one allowed to discover this place, and every time he tells anyone about it, the system forbids him to. Lin was trying to cultivate again. While he's doing this, his body still can't handle magic and he keeps on coughing blood. The system then told Lin that his magic level was proportional to the level of his dragon. Since Io was still not level 1, he can't use magic. If he is forced to absorb more magic power, his body will explode. Lin then tried not to go to the ranch, but these notifications started to pop out. Yi's food supply was insufficient and it started to decline. The system also tried to gaslight him for being such a responsible rancher. His uncle noticed something was not right because Lin just stopped eating. Lin then made an alibi that he just lost his appetite. His uncle also told him about his plan on sending Lin to the Holy Iris Magic Academy. This magic academy was the best academy in the Orient Empire. Mr. Oliver was the dean associate in this academy, and this is also where Lin's father graduated. And now, Lin was happy that he could also attend there. But then, these warnings appeared. Yi's health was already below 10. It is in a critical condition. And if Yi would die, Lin would have to become a dragon egg to offset this loss. This made Lin panic. He didn't know that there's something like this. After that, our MC started to feed Yi every day. Yi's appetite was just too huge and eventually it leveled up. Lin tried to pat it again, but Yi didn't like this gesture. It doesn't want his head to be patted. The system then told Lin that he's already becoming a qualified rancher. Since his little fire dragon was already level 1, Lin can now use magic. On top of that, he also unlocked another feature called the training room. Lin was then transported to it and he was tasked to do meditation while balancing himself in this position. He needs to balance himself properly or else this 40 tons hammer will hit him. And as expected, Lin fell down and he got hit. The board also shacked his feet onto its body. This will prevent Lin from evading this training. His first was to meditate for more than 5 seconds. Lin was already struggling maintaining his balance. As he passed the required time, the difficulty also increased. This guy was now meditating on top of these things. After a while, a notification told him that he had passed the training session. He continued this training and 7 days went by. Lin then decided that he should try and use magic perception. A magic circle indeed appeared in his hands. And then this happened. A small fireball was released from him. RMC was kinda disappointed. The amount of magic was too small. He then decided to put out the fire while no one's watching him. But then he saw this kid. His name was Jack and he's with Mr. Carl and Mr. Blaine when Lin started floating last time. This guy started running back to the mansion to report that his master has indeed used magic. Lin tried stopping him because he was embarrassed by his small fireball. And then this happened. The fire magic nearly reached Jack. Lin then figured out that his fire magic had become stronger. With this, he decided to practice his skill more. Lin continued to chase Jack as he was running for his life. That same day, Mr. Blaine received the letter of acceptance from the Holy Iris Academy. His uncle then immediately told Lin about this news. Both of them were happy. After some preparations, Lin was ready to travel to the academy. And the people said their goodbyes to him. He's now on his official journey on becoming a mage. This trip would take them at least a month. During the day, Jack drove them towards the academy, and during the night, Lin used this time to train. While he was busy in his training, Lin didn't realize that Ye has already grown this big. Charmander is now a Charizard. Ye has grown to level 3 and he also gained some skills. His fire breath was also now more powerful. This made Lin happy. He even invited Ye to go out and check out his world. After this, Lin was transported back to his world with Ye. At this exact moment, this guy with this black dragon felt Ye's presence. He's confused why there's a dragon outside the Rift Valley. Ye then opened its eyes. It started to observe its surroundings. This fire dragon was clearly happy because this place was a lot bigger than the ranch. He then suggested that they should fly around. While he's bonding with Ye, he thought that since he can't really get rid of this system, he would now use it to its full capacity. Lin has decided to raise his dragons to become a more powerful mage, but then an arrow nearly hit them. He thought that this arrow was from some dragon hunters, but as they investigated further, Lin found out that this incident was a robbery. He also heard Jack screaming for help. Jack was indeed caught together with these two guards and they were being surrounded by snakes. This little kid decided to get and look for some food while his master was busy cultivating. He also saw this caravan while he was walking. But then, a group of men appeared behind him all of a sudden. The men guarding the caravan were all defeated. And this man was also captured by these thieves. Those who tried to escape and fight were bitten by these snakes, and they were turned into corpses. The leader of the caravan tried pleading to these thieves, but it's no use. The leader of the thieves decided to continue the killings. Jack thought that he would not be able to serve Lin anymore as he was about to die. But before the snake could even bite him, a fireball appeared and it hit them. The snakes were burned down, and the fire freed Jack. Then someone came from the sky and stepped on him. It was Lin. Jack was so thrilled to see his master. Right now, they have a bigger problem. The numbers of these thieves were just too overwhelming, but some of them started to get scared because of the fireball that Lin used. They thought that Lin was at least a third-rank mage. Their leader then assured them that there's nothing to be afraid of because he was a third-rank knight. This guy knew that he has the advantage when it comes to close-range combats because mages need to chant their spell first. Lin also knew about this. He then tried his best to dodge this man's attacks. But this guy was quick. He really is a third-rank knight. An attack got Lin and it was a clean hit. Lin got up, but the damage was clearly significant. He thought that he can't just dodge anymore. He then started to chant and do his spell. But this gave this man another chance. The leader of the thieves started mocking Lin. He then threw Lin onto the boulder while he was telling him that a mage has no match against knights. Even after receiving all these attacks, Lin was still conscious. The system then appeared and told him that since he was fighting, the dragon magic will now sync with him. Lin will be able to use the abilities of Yale like the shield, claw, bite and the instant fireball skill. He then recalled this skill. This was the same one with Ye. The system confirmed that Lin could really use these spells. While he was occupied on syncing himself, this man gave him another kick in the face. The leader had enough play time with Lin and he decided to take him down. Lin was about to be slashed, but then he managed to activate the sync system. He then turned his body around and casted the instant fireball skill. The leader of the thieves was back down. His sword was melted from Lin's spell. And now, the tables have turned. The only disadvantage of mages was now gone. Lin can do chantless magic. These guys quickly changed their attitude towards our MC. It is as if they were suddenly in love with Lin's power. But Lin also had enough. He blew them off right away. The leader of the caravan, Lucas, then approached Lin and thanked him for saving them. He also led Lin towards this mysterious thing that they got along the way. And Lucas was willing to give this thing to Lin as a token of gratitude. He then removed the veil and it revealed this maiden. Lin knew what she was, based on these body features, even her ears. This lady that was held captive was definitely an elf. Lucas even boasted that no man could ever resist her charms. But Lin didn't think of it that way. He was now furious. Lucas then told Lin not to hold back anymore. He even told him the time when they got this elf. They found her in the middle of a battlefield, where mercenaries tried to kill each other for this elf. Lucas also told Lin that this elf could even be sold for 1,000,000 gold. He then used this opportunity to offer Lin to come and work for them. He knew our MC's power will be valuable to them. He intends to hire more powerful men so that he could grow his business more. Lin held the cage and thanked Lucas for his offer. He casted his fire magic into this cage. This fire also burnt the rope and freed the elf inside. Lucas tried stopping Lin, but it was already too late. Our MC was already furious because this man treated life as a merchandise. Lucas was already scared of Lin, but he tried to talk his way out of this. But Lin casted a small fireball towards Lucas and he started running for his life. The guards with Lucas didn't even attempt to fight Lin and also started to run away. As for Lin, he offered his hand to the elf, but she's still afraid and doesn't know what to do. Lin then assured her that he was there to save her. Eventually, Lin got her to trust him. This elf then thanked him for rescuing her against those men. Lin introduced himself to this elf and asked what her name was. But this elf was just captivated by Lin's chivalry. She was then embarrassed and hid her face. Lin told her that she doesn't need to answer that if she doesn't want to. He then said his goodbyes to this elf lady. But before he could even get away, the elf shouted her name. It was Nike. Nike was afraid of something. She was afraid that if she told Lin her name, he might abandon her and chase her away. After that, they went back to the carriage and Jack was busy cooking their food. This elf lady was too famished. She didn't hold herself to eating almost all of their food. But Lin didn't mind this. He was happy because he could help Nike. He then asked Nike why she chose to stay with them even if she has the chance to get back to her clan. Nike told Lin that she can't go back. She was too playful and even broke the elves' rule on not to go and meddle with humans. When she was back to her home, their base was already found out by the adventurers, and her clan had already fled. She tried hiding to not get caught, but this guard saw the herbs that she had gathered. The guards then chased her, but then she stumbled down. She knows what will happen to her if she gets caught. But after all this, the guards managed to get her. She even tried fleeing multiple times, but she failed every single time. Lin knew the trauma that this caused her. He then asked Nike why she was not afraid of him even though he's also a human. Nike told him that he was not like any other human. He was her savior after all. This made Lin blush a little. Our MC then gave her the permission to stay with him while they tried to find clues on her clan's whereabouts. Lin also told her about the purpose of his trip, and it was because he was going to study magic in an academy. He then asked Nike if she could pretend to be his maid to not raise suspicions. Nike's expression changed as soon as she heard the word maid. She even tried to cover up her body. Lin then panicked. He doesn't want to give her the wrong idea. After explaining more of the details to Nike, she finally agreed to it. Lin then decided to leave her alone and went out of the carriage. Little Jack then asked his master why he was going to sleep outside. He thought that his master was about to do something with the elf lady. After a few more days, Lin's carriage arrived at the academy. The system then popped out and gave Lin a new task. He needs to explore the academy to unlock the water dragon egg. Upon knowing that Lin was about to meet other dragons, his face started to be gloomy. The system then told him that the more dragons he has, the stronger he would become. It also showed the current status of Lin as a rancher. His level was a first-rank mage and he only has 1 dragon so far. It also revealed that there were 6 types of dragon eggs in total: fire, water, wind, earth, light, and dark. If Lin could get them all of these dragon eggs, he would be able to learn all of their magic. This gave our MC more motivation and he hurriedly entered the academy. But before that, he said his goodbyes to Jack and Nike. As Lin entered the academy, he saw all sorts of fancy things, like this one who delivers packages but his ride was a broomstick, students who were eager to study, and all sorts of things. Lin was then asked by this man to follow him as he needs to do the admission test first. Meanwhile, the people inside this room were talking and they were expecting that the student that Mr. Oliver admitted was at least at mid-level. And then Lin arrived at the admission test room. This professor greeted him and explained that he will be the one who will conduct the test. Lin then told this professor that he's ready. The professor liked Lin's confidence and then he instructed him to place his hand on this blue orb. But then he started to think about the ranch. He's worried that someone might figure out his secret. The system then told Lin that this magic crystal only measures magic talent and it can't detect the wrench. Our MC placed his hand on the crystal. He thought that his magic talent would be high enough because his father was a magic genius. The crystal shook and showed this bright red color. The professor thought that Lin's magic talent was at the supreme level. Not to mention that Mr. Oliver personally recommended Lin to be a student here. This professor was starting to get amazed. He thought that he had just discovered a genius. But then, the test was done and the crystal reported that Lin only has a weak magic talent and a weak fire affinity. All of the people in the room were shocked. The system then explained to Lin that his magic talent was proportional to his level as a rancher and to the level of his dragons. People around him started to whisper and doubted his skill. Even this man whose name was Augustine was disappointed. He's the president of the Truth Student Union. As soon as Lin saw him, the system gave him a new task. He needs to defeat this man in order to obtain water dragon egg fragments. Augustine approached Lin and he told him that he needs to hand over his badge and uniform right now. This guy disapproves of how Lin got into the academy in the first place. Lin then remembered the times he was being underestimated and bullied by the other children. He then answered Augustine. Lin told him that Augustine was the one who taints the reputation of this academy by bullying a fellow student. This made Augustine silent. But his lackeys were the one who started to talk back. Lin was also just holding himself up. He needed to calm down. After that, he decided to walk away and leave the room. He knew that at his current level, he has no chance of winning against this man. He needs to get stronger. After that incident, Lin went back to the dragon ranch. The dragon fruits were also ready, but there's this one problem. Since Yia has grown a lot, he demanded to have a bigger habitat. Lin told him that Yia needs to be patient. He needs 2 more days to save up some gold and upgrade his habitat. But Yia was really furious because these were the same words that Lin told him 2 days ago. Our MC then tried to feed him anyway. Lin thought that Yia was becoming more like a child now. He then started to think of some ways to address Yia's bigger habitat. But the problem is, the small habitat could only produce 500 gold per day, and the bigger habitat was around 10,000 gold. Realizing this, he almost gave up. But then he got up again and thought that he could do some part-time jobs or anything just to earn some more gold. While he was preparing, Nike called him because the breakfast was ready. Lin then opened the door, and he saw Nike in her maid outfit. Flowers started to bloom in his perspective as he stared at Nike. Nike felt awkward and asked her master if something was strange about it. Our MC told her that her looks were fine and there's nothing wrong about it. Lin also apologized to Nike because she needed to pretend to be his maid for the time being. But Nike didn't mind it at all and she had her master. After that, Lin got ready to go to the academy. But something changed because of the results of his admission test yesterday. People around him started to become rude. Lin got his official class schedule and went to his first class. He entered the room but someone stopped him from his tracks. It was this lady. She is teacher Yisha and she's the one who's assigned for this class. She scolded Lin. She told him that he couldn't just barge in and use his connection to enter the academy. She even told him that she will not allow Lin to attend her class. Even the students inside this classroom started to mock Lin. Our MC then asked the system to help him analyze the magic talent of the other students. These were his classmates. There's even a dog in here. Lin knew that none of them seemed to be better than him, and before going out, he asked his teacher about the topic of her class. Lin added that he was willing to prove himself to her by showing that he could outsmart all of the students inside this room. The students started to laugh and mock Lin again. But this teacher told them to keep quiet. She got interested in Lin's proposal. She then gave her 1 week to prepare for her magic potion class. Teacher Yisha told Lin that he needs to get first place on the examination. If Lin was able to get the top spot, she would accept him in her class. But if not, he needs to leave this academy. This simple bet turned out to be more serious than expected. A new task was then created by the system. It was the same conditions that teacher Yisha asked Lin to do. And if Lin manages to clear this, he will receive a fragment of the water dragon egg. Lin thought that since the system made it a task, it is not impossible to achieve. He then agreed to this challenge. This same professor was already amazed by Lin's determination. She thought that maybe the rumors about this student were wrong. Right at that moment, Professor Yisha got interested in Lin. At the academy's library, our MC went in here to find out more about the potions he needed to be studying since he can't attend any classes. Lin found out that this library was magnificent. He also thought that there will be a lot of books regarding potion making. But as he searched for the books, the students that saw him started whispering behind his back. This annoyed Lin especially because he was there to learn and not to fight anyone. But then this lady told those students to shut up and be ashamed. It's this lady. She told her seniors that if they will not keep quiet inside the library, she will deduct some of their points. Turns out, she was the library counselor. And these students can't afford for their points to be deducted. Lin thought that this lady was so nice that she even saved him from the trouble. The library counselor even apologized to Lin because of what happened. She thought that it was her fault and she was not able to maintain peace inside the library. Lin got speechless upon hearing this. He thought that her sense of responsibility was too much. Our MC then took the opportunity of asking her where the books were regarding magic potions. The library counselor agreed to help him and told Lin that he could call her Vivian. After that, Vivian chanted some magic spells and the books that Lin needed started to glow and come forward. And just like that, Lin got the books that he needed. Vivian told Lin that those were all the magic potion books in the academy. She also warned him that the exam will be a practical one. She was concerned because she thought reading these books would not be enough to pass the exam. Lin then got a tip from the system on how to pass the exam. He also told Vivian that she doesn't have to worry because he's confident. He also thanked her for helping him today. Lin told Vivian that she's the first person to help him even after hearing the rumors about him. Lin told her that he'll treat her to a meal after he passed the exam. After that, Lin left the library. But something was bothering Vivian. It was because someone asked her to get close with Lin and do something to him. The sorry she said earlier wasn't for her responsibility as a library counselor but for something else. At Lin's residence inside the academy, our MC had been reading books all day. He really was eager to learn how to create magic potions. He only has 1 week left. 5 days later, Lin was worn out, but with all of his efforts, he figured out what's the most important thing needed for the potions. And it was Yi. The process of making magic potions requires very stable mental power. And beginners who don't have this use dragon spittle as a supplementary ingredient. And if an authentic dragon spittle was used, the potency would surely increase. Even ordinary people could create magic potions as long as they add it. Our MC had figured all of these things out. The day of the exam came and he was successful in creating his magic potion. Some of the students thought that Lin was cheating, but those who were saying these rumors were punished by Professor Yisha. Lin appreciated his professor's gesture. As for Professor Yisha, she was impressed because she didn't expect Lin could produce a high-quality magic potion. She then used her magic to get Lin's potion. Professor Yisha inspected it and told him that if no other student could produce the same quality as his, he would get the highest score. But it will not end just like that. She told Lin that in order to prove to everyone that he didn't cheat his way on creating this, he needs to show them. Lin was asked to go to the podium and create a new potion. Our MC didn't like this because he was already being accused. The other students were eager to put Lin in a tough position. Some of them said that Lin used dragon spittle. They can't accept that Lin was able to defeat them in just 7 days. Lin just smiled at them. Turns out, he has been doing his training inside the dragon ranch. The time in here was 7 times slower than the outside world. He stood up and accepted the challenge. He will make a new potion. Professor Yisha was caught off guard because Lin agreed so easily. As Lin adds the ingredients needed for the potions, he remembers the times he failed doing this. He had tried too many times just to perfect his craft. And now, Lin was ready to show his talent to everyone. The professor then noticed that Lin can control his mental powers well. She recognized that he was better than all the students she taught before, and after a while, Lin was done creating the potion. It was the same quality as the first one. Professor Yisha then asked Lin if he was born with strong concentration powers. Lin answered that he wasn't, but the training that the system gave him all these times made him strong. He even cried a bit remembering these things. At that moment, Professor Yisha got the gist of what happened. This student has put more effort to make up for his lack of talent. She felt ashamed of herself because she nearly made this student expelled from the academy. Professor Yisha admitted her mistake and apologized to Lin. She also revealed that there were 5 more students that were on par with Lin's potion, but given that he was self-taught and he had the shortest time to learn magic potions, she gave him the highest score. Notifications saying that Lin has completed the quest appeared. He also got some experience in 1 fragment of the water dragon egg and a teleportation array. After that, Lin left the room and decided to unwind. The system congratulated him as well. Our MC has no intention of losing that challenge because he didn't want to taint his father's legacy in the academy. And besides that, since he still has some dragon spittle with him, he will use this to gain wealth. Lin has started on creating higher quality potions with his skill combined with Yi's spittle. He plans to sell these potions to the merchants so he could afford buying the bigger habitat for Yi. And since his first major problem in the academy was solved, Lin thought about Vivian. Our MC decided to visit Vivian to treat her a meal. After that, he went to the library. But Lin can't seem to find Vivian. This lady then approached him. She asked him if he was indeed Lin. Our MC thought she's a bit weird and tried to get her off him. But he still answered that he was indeed Lin. She told Lin that Vivian was behind the school building and that she was preparing to confess something to him. Hearing this, Lin got flustered. He didn't know how to react, but this lady still pushed him to go to Vivian right away. A weird quest also appeared in exchange for water dragon egg fragment. Lin needs to be carried like a princess by Vivian. This annoyed Lin because this was such a weird quest. The lady told Lin again that he should hurry because Vivian will not leave that place as long as she doesn't meet Lin. The lady also summoned a bee and told Lin to follow it. Lin then noticed that something was off. He thought that Vivian would not confess her feelings to him just like that. especially since they just met once. He also thought that this quest was really a joke compared to the previous one. As he followed the bee, he heard a voice in the distance. Lin quickly ran towards the voice. He thought that this was Vivin. He arrived at the place where he heard the voice, and this is what he saw. Lin approached the center of this place and wondered why the academy has something like this. He inspected this portal-like thing and saw something. Vivin has entered this portal, and right now, it's waiting for another participant. Our MC was clearly confused. Then someone appeared behind his back. A magic wave hit him. Lin was just about to turn his head around, but the magic has pushed him towards the portal. It was already too late. Lin entered the portal. The one who casted magic was this same lady from the library. Turns out, this student was a man. And he's just using magic to hide his identity. This guy was furious because he got bullied by his seniors as well, but no one ever dared to protect him. He was jealous because someone like Vivin helped him. And now, he planned to make them both feel despair. Lin was transported on the other side of the portal. He was met with these pointed objects on the ground, and then he saw Vivin trapped above him. Her mouth was covered and she was struggling to get out of these chains. As he was still trying to process the situation, he felt something behind his back. Lin turned his head and saw this. A huge magic beast was coming out from the portal. The magic beast then let out a loud howl. It nearly made Lin fall on the spikes behind him. He didn't expect that a magic beast would appear inside the portal. The beast didn't waste any time and dashed towards Lin. Our man knew that he needed to dodge or else he might die. He mustered his strength and jumped before the attack reached him. Based on the cracks on the ground, the beast was indeed strong. But then Lin noticed that he had jumped so high. He then remembered that because of the quest that he completed, his level increased. He's now a second-rank mage. But still, he didn't expect that one level could improve his stats like this. Lin then gained some confidence that he could defeat this beast. But as soon as he landed, it was already coming his way. The bite of this beast nearly got Lin, but he was able to dodge it. Eventually, Lin figured out that his body could keep up with the magic beast's speed. Lin had enough dodging. He decided to fight back. He then casted his fireball skill. It got the beast and it fell down. Lin was glad because his attack worked. But then the chains that were holding Vivian up high started to break one by one. She's now falling towards the spike. Lin tried stopping it, but he was too late. Luckily, some of the chains held up and it saved Vivian. Lin got furious because he got too focused on his fight and he forgot about Vivian. He started thinking about why the chains suddenly broke down. Then he noticed that the wolf had destroyed some of the spike when it fell down. Lin thought that when the spikes were destroyed, the chains would be broken as well. Our MC was now thinking of ways to destroy the spikes and keep Vivian safe. He then told Vivian to wait for him as he will ask some help from the Owen mages in the academy. Vivian tried saying something to Lin, but her mouth was shut off. Lin knew that he could only come out through the portal a while ago, but as he turned his head, it was already gone. The entrance disappeared. He thought that they were now trapped there. Lin also remembered the lady who's likely the one who's behind this trap. She's also the one who pushed Lin inside the portal. He started thinking, why would someone want to kill them? As he was still struggling to find the answers, the wolf behind him stood up. It was on its way to pounce on Lin. But our MC can't afford to be bothered right now. He casted another instant fireball and took care of the wolf. A notification popped out and it told Lin that he defeated a phantom wolf. He also gained some experience from this. Lin asked the system for more info about the phantom wolf, but it said that he needs to find that for himself. He grabbed the system and was about to throw it, but then he noticed something. A purple orb came out from the wolf's body, and it went near Vivian. It seemed that Lin had figured out something. Every time Lin kills a phantom wolf, its orb will move Vivian to safety. And if he destroys the spikes, the chains will lower her down. While he was happy with this information, Lin noticed something again. The phantom wolf that he defeated split into two. This surprised our MC because this will make this fight even more difficult. And then he remembered something like this. It was from his student handbook. It's about the trial realm that third-year students and above used to have mock battles against demonic beasts. If someone passes the test, participants will be automatically transported out. Lin thought that maybe this realm works like that as well. and now he has no other choice but to fight these monsters. Our MC continued to gain experience points as he defeated more wolves. He planned to continue this up until Vivian moved into a safer location. But over time, the numbers of these beasts started to take its toll on Lin's body. The phantom wolves have already divided too much and now he's on the edge. Lin was surrounded. He knew that eventually, something like this would happen. A phantom wolf then pounced towards him. Lin then remembered that he could use all of his dragon skill as well, and aside from the fireball, he could use shield, bite, and the claw skill. He used the shield skill and a small shield really did appear. He used it to block the wolf's attack. But as the wolves kept on attacking, the shield started to crack. Lin was already struggling keeping up. He was then able to make this one wolf fall below the platform. Our MC used another skill called Claw, and he used it to fend the remaining wolves. Lin saw a notification that he had defeated a wolf, but from his perspective, he didn't deal much damage using the Claw skill. A purple orb appeared behind him. He figured out that the wolf that fell down the platform was not able to split into two and was totally defeated. With this, Lin knew what he needed to do to clear this trial. He summoned his fire magic together with his claw skill. Lin faced all of these phantom wolves head on, and as long as he could get them to fall to the cliff, he knew he could win this. And one by one, our MC managed to execute his plan. All of the wolves were defeated, and at the same time, Vivian was freed from the chains that held her. Lin comforted her and told her that everything's fine now, and since they have defeated the wolves, he was expecting that they will be transported back now. But then they both heard something. A stairs going downwards suddenly appeared inside the realm. After that, Vivian healed Lin's injuries with her magic. She also started crying and she apologized again to Lin because she got him in this trouble. He then told her that she didn't need to apologize because this was not her fault, because right now, they have more problems to deal with. They found stairs going down this realm, and since they were not transported back, he thought that the trial was not finished yet. He then asked Vivian if she knew something about the trial realm. Vivian apologized again because she's not familiar with it. The detailed information was only available for senior students. Since they both don't have any information about this realm, Lin told her that they should find it themselves. He also promised Vivian that he will protect her, but this girl rejected it. She gathered magic around her and told Lin that she will be fighting with him. Lin got amazed, but then a bat appeared out of nowhere, and this fierce lady went on Lin's back for protection. Our MC didn't waste the opportunity to tease her. After that, these two went down the stairs. The fog around them also started to become lighter. Vivian also heard some sounds. It was the stairs behind her. It's starting to crumble down. The two of them ran for their lives, but it's no use. They eventually fell down as well. Lin was about to summon Yi to prevent them from falling, but then Vivian used her wind magic and she princess carried Lin to safety. Our MC felt some relief. He didn't know that this girl could use such powerful wind magic, but then the system ruined the mood. It congratulated Lin on completing his quest. With this, he also leveled up, but he didn't learn any skills because Yi was still angry about not having a bigger habitat. After a while, Vivian and Lin reached the bottom of this realm, and then at the other end, there's an aisle that leads to a portal. The bodies of the wolves were also in here. Lin thought that someone would not let them go this easily. Lin asked Vivian to step back as he figured out if there were any traps in here. Lin threw a stone, and then the stone hit a tile and it started glowing up. The statue above the portal then casted a laser magic towards Lin and Vivian. They barely dodged that attack. Lin was annoyed because instead of attacking at the position of the tile, it attacked them. These two also witnessed that the statue started to crack. The stone turned into this wolf cub. Seeing this, Lin remembered the time when Yi hatched. Both of them thought that it was so cute, but behind this cuteness, there's a deadly power. The wolf cub howled and it sent sound waves all over the place. The phantom wolves then started moving again. The wolf cub's howl revived these phantom wolves. Lin then figured out that in order to escape this place, They need to defeat the wolf cub first. He started to attack these wolves with his claw skill. Vivin also chanted a magic spell to help Lin with these beasts. The spell then went on its way to the wolf cub, but it was just blocked. Vivin started to lose her hope on defeating this thing. The wolf cub has an immunity shield. She suddenly remembered a memory from her past. Vivin was rescued as well from a demonic beast that has a magic immunity. All the people who were with her died and she's the only one who survived. This cruel memory haunted her again, but Lin decided not to give up. He told her that as long as he's there, he'll find a way to survive and win this trial. Lin swore that he wouldn't let anything happen to her. This same scene got Vivin to remember a piece of her memory again. It was the same scene where she was being protected by this mighty warrior from this demonic beast. She knew that she just can't watch again while everyone tries their best to survive. Vivin held her staff again. She mustered her courage and thought that she's not the same helpless child like before. And this girl broke this wolf's head to the ground. Lin and the wolves were shocked. They didn't expect her to use physical attacks. But this small opportunity was more than enough for Lin to get an idea on how they could defeat the wolf cub. Lin told Vivian that he will be casting a fireball to open up a way, and her job was to hold off the wolves for 30 seconds. With that, Lin executed their plan. He casted an instant fireball and most of the wolves got heat. Both of them used this chance to close their distance towards the wolf cub. Lin flew off while Vivian was running towards the portal. Our MC thought of a genius idea. Since magic can't reach this thing, he will be using his fist. Suddenly, Lin turned into Saitama from One Punch Man. Lin bombarded the wolf cub with his fist, and eventually, the magic circle that protected it started to crack. This made our MC have this satisfying smile. He then continued his attack. Meanwhile, Vivian was busy fending off the wolves with her staff. Not long after, the magic circle was destroyed. Sayonara, cute wolf cub. Lin casted an instant fireball and it hit the wolf cub. Our MC then checked Vivian if she's doing fine. After defeating the wolf cub, the phantom wolves died as well. The system then congratulated Lin for defeating a boss monster. He gained a new title called Wolf King. He also got a skill that can summon a wolf pack to fight for him. He also earned a new skill called Fire First. Vivian quickly went to Lin. She told him that this portal seemed to be the real one. Our MC was the one who tried inspecting it first. At this moment, Vivian saw Lin's injuries. This guy had been fighting since they entered this realm. She cried again and tried to apologize to Lin. He teased her about apologizing non-stop. He grabbed Vivian's hand and told her that these wounds were too small to worry about. Lin guided Vivian towards the portal. Both of them were then transported back to their world. A notification also congratulated them for passing the trial. They also got rankings for clearing this thing. Lin then noticed that his injuries were gone. After that incident, Lin found out that there were only two ways to leave the trial realm: pass the trial or pass away. That's the two options. The students also don't have to worry about anything because this trial realm was just an illusion. Even if someone dies inside, they will be transported back like nothing happened. Lin found these things out when he came back to his house. Nike read it to him. He thought that he's still thankful for fighting his way out of it because experiencing death was still not a good idea. After the incident, rumors started to spread out in the academy. Students were talking about Lin clearing the trial and he even got an A+ score. The council also decided to make Lin test out his magic powers again. Lots of students were waiting for the new result, and they were all shocked because Lin's talent and fire element affinity moved up to mid-level rank. These students thought that this was impossible, and this guy was getting tired of the rumors about Lin. He asked the students to stop these rumors. The student council stopped talking and the room was then filled with awkward silence. After that, Augustine decided to check the news himself if they were really true. On the other hand, Lin felt a sudden chill because of this. He's in the middle of negotiations with this merchant. Our MC was selling 15 bottles of magic potions and the initial offer was 20,000 gold. Lin knew that this amount was already expensive, but then the merchant gave him more. The merchant also asked Lin if he could be their regular supplier because his potions were the highest quality potions he had ever seen. With this, Lin left carrying a bag of gold. Plus, things were starting to be better. Lin planned to get Yi his bigger habitat as soon as he went back to the dragon ranch, and the long-awaited habitat has finally been built. This fire dragon clearly loved his bigger habitat. Yi dived right into the lava, and some of it splashed towards Lin. Yi started laughing. This was his way of saying thanks to his master. And since Lin has constructed a medium habitat, he got experience and gold back. He also opened a new area called Dragon Training Ground. These two brightened up as soon as they heard this news. They both decided to check it out. While they were being transported, Lin was already expecting something in this new area. He thought that there would be a dangerous flying course and even an arena for them to fight in. And as he opened his eyes, this is where they were transported. Both of them were disappointed. The system then revealed that this training area will get bigger and harder as they both level up more. Lin could even unlock Dragon God Arena if he managed to complete all the training tasks. As for the first training, the system told Lin that he needed to wave the dragon teasing stick 1,000 times. This is like the toys people use for their cats, right? But as you can see, this stick's effect was really effective. The scary and snob fire dragon suddenly looked like anyone could pet him. But before Yi could even enjoy this thing, Lin dropped the stick. He whined to the system about this useless training. This broke Yi's heart. He thought that his master didn't want to play with him. This scene made Lin remember the times that he would also ask his father to play with him. Lin then got Yi's feelings. This fire dragon was lonely because he's the only one in the dragon ranch. He was also out because of his studies in the academy. With this, Lin picked up the stick again, and the two of them enjoyed their time having this training. Yi continued to chase the stick, and Lin was making a progress with his task. He's starting to get tired after swinging the stick for over 700 times. But he can't give up because this was a task from the system. And as soon as he reached the 1000th swing, something changed within Yi. For a second, Lin felt that a mighty fire dragon was staring down on him. With the pressure he felt, Lin was not able to move his body. Yi was then successful in getting the stick from his master. The system congratulated Lin on completing the task. The pressure he felt was Yi's newest skill called Dragon Fear. Lin also earned the skill because his level was high enough. The Dragon Fear will have a small chance to paralyze any creature that was a level lower than Lin. The training ground also expanded. Lin started to think about how this area would turn out once he unlocked all the areas. He's also looking forward to the Dragon God Arena. He then told Yi that it's time for him to go. This guy tried saying his goodbyes by giving his fire dragon some belly rubs, but all he got was a powerful tail whip and it sent him flying. After that, Lin has continued his life as a student in the academy. Professor Yisha honored her promise and he was able to attend her class. Some of his classmates also started to like him, especially this dog. Lin was expecting to end his semester peacefully, but then he discovered something as he helped Vivian clean the library. He saw this huge magic circle behind a curtain. Lin was familiar with this magic circle because it was his father's. This guy touched the magic circle and suddenly he vanished. Lin was transported to the other side of this magic circle. He then saw something inside this room. There's a skeleton of a dragon being held by some chains in front of him. He thought about why the academy has something like this. A new quest then appeared for Lin. The system told him that he needs to fulfill the last wish of the sleeping dragon. This was a main task for the Water Dragon Egg quest. Lin needs to break the chains and help the dragon move on. He casted his fire magic to try breaking it, but the fire can't melt the chains. Lin decided to inspect the material that the chains were made up to. But as soon as he stepped near the dragon, it woke up. The dragon started to struggle and Lin thought that it had become a ghost. It then attacked Lin. Our MC tried shielding it, but his plan failed and the dragon's attack went through. This guy just barely survived this sudden attack. This was just too close. Lin started to step back and thank the chains for his life. He also confronted the system because it didn't even warn him. As he argued with the system, he heard the voice of the dragon. Lin was able to understand it because he has the dragon language skill. The dragon seemed to be looking for its child that it lost. Our MC started to get the situation. This was a reason why the dragon hadn't moved on yet. Lin tried communicating with it. He thought the dragon would hear him. He tried asking some questions, but the dragon ignored him. He figured out that this method was useless. Lin scanned the room to find more clues about it, and then he found a grimoire. Lin opened it and something came out. It was a hologram of Mr. Oliver and his father. Lin found out that this place was their laboratory, but as he scanned more pages, he saw that they were all blank. He remembered the book that Mr. Oliver gave to him. Lin thought that that book was a result of their experiment. Lin knew that evil dragons should be killed, but his father has a different perspective. His father fought against his fellow humans to free them. Our MC also remembered the time when Mr. Oliver went to him and told him that he will help Lin clear his family's name. But since he can't prove anything yet, he gave up jumping to conclusions. Right now, he needed to focus on gathering more information about this place and about dragons. Lin went out of the magic circle. He then met Vivian and asked her if she felt anything strange in this wall. All that Vivian noticed was that Lin didn't clean it properly. After that, Lin started asking other students about dragons. He asked this one and found out that there's no rumors about dragons in the academy. Lin then went to ask Professor Yisha. Upon asking this, the professor went silent for a bit. She then told Lin that what he was asking was impossible because dragons were powerful creatures and no one could bring one in the academy. She also told Lin that instead of wasting his time with these legends, he should prepare himself because the academy will give him another special exam. If Lin could pass this exam, he will be able to participate on the Mage Trial Tower, a realm that's more difficult than the Trial Realm. This place was a most difficult trial realm. The Mage Trial Tower was a masterpiece created by the only Sage rank mage in the academy named Dean Gladstone. Inside this tower, more dangerous monsters were lurking around. The difficulty of clearing this alone was nearly impossible for the students, but those who have potential on clearing this tower were being selected yearly, and they have a chance to get special rewards like this Medal of Honor. Lin thought that he heard that thing somewhere. Professor Yisha then explained that the Medal of Honor was an award given personally by the king. Those who received it may teach in the academy. They can even have a chance to study in the Imperial Library. She also told Lin that he could have more chances of learning about dragons if he'll have access inside the Imperial Library. Our MC figured out that this may be Professor Yisha's hint. Maybe he'll unfold the mystery of the dragon and the grimoire last time. Knowing this, Lin eagerly asked his professor about the details for the extra exam. She then told Lin that the exam meant he needed to defeat her in a battle. Just by looking at her rank, Lin knew that he was already at a disadvantage. His professor was already a 6th rank mage and now she wanted to fight a mere 3rd rank. Before Lin could whine out more, she told him that she will suppress her powers equal to his rank. Professor Yisha told him that Lin still has 1 month to prepare for this challenge, and that she looks forward to his performance. A new quest was then given by the system. Lin needed to defeat his professor without using any dragon magic. Back at his home, Lin thought that a 3rd rank professor versus a 3rd rank student seemed to be reasonable at first, but he's still at a disadvantage. Yisha's understanding about magic was far greater than his. And on top of that, Yisha's attribute was water. Lin still can't afford to give up. He spent his time on learning and searching ways and techniques to counter water magic. He also started learning advanced fire magic. The system helped him in doing so, but this was not enough. Lin also asked Ye to assist him in his training. As they trained more and more, Lin was becoming more agile in using fire magic. Aside from getting stronger, Lin also liked the idea that he's getting closer to Ye. And after a month, the day of the examination came. Some students were still doubting this matchup. Vivian was busy defending Lin's image from them. The match was about to begin. The first person who will be hit by magic or knocked out of the circle will lose the battle. These two then started casting their magic spells. Lin casted multiple fireballs and Yisha did the same. She casted multiple water ball techniques. Their magic clashed, but Yisha was able to create more water balls. Even if this professor was suppressing her strength, she still managed to overpower Lin. She also didn't let Lin rest because she casted another spell called Raging Silver Snake Dance. Our MC answered with this fire spin move called Ring of Fire. This move was able to evaporate Yisha's attack. She was starting to praise Lin on his understanding about attributes, but this was not enough. She casted another third-rank water spell called Riptide. Lin countered with his own third-rank fire spell called Fire Spring. The magic spells of these two really countered each other. Eventually, the Fire Spring of Lin was getting pushed back. But the audience were already in awe because Lin managed to do this feat. Professor Yisha thought that her student was already giving up, but his eyes told the opposite. Lin purposely set his fire back to lead the water up top. He controlled both of their spells in an instant, and then multiple fire spells appeared around Yisha. He then thanked her for giving him enough time to prepare this special fire spell for her. Lin casted his greatest fire spell called Meteoric Firefall. As these powerful fireballs approached Professor Yisha, she praised her student. This kind of spell was nearly impossible for a third-rank mage to learn. A huge explosion was then seen on the battlefield. The audience started to cheer Lin, but as the dust settled, it revealed that Professor Yisha was unscathed. She was already casting her counterspell called Night Bloom Illusion. The students were amazed, including Vivin. This student then explained that only those who had signed a contract with the water spirit could use this spell. Lin was starting to doubt that spell was really a third rank. She then warned Lin that if he just kept on waiting around, her spell would be completed, and the whole arena will be swallowed by her magic. A huge wave of water then rushed towards Lin. He remembered the concept of the white wolf cub being immune to magic. He thought that the concept of his professor's spell was also like that. Since he had no more secret technique, Lin jumped towards Yisha and casted his fire fist. Yisha was caught off guard. She didn't expect Lin could come up with this strategy. As soon as Lin broke the barrier, he casted another fire magic called Fire Serpent. Yisha answered with her waterfall skill. This overwhelmed Lin, and he had no chance to react. The impact blew him off the wall. Vivian and this dog thought that their friend was lost. But then Yisha spoke and told them that she lost this match. Lin has forced her to use upper rank magic and that she saw him as a real opponent. She's now looking forward to the growth that Lin will have in the future. She admitted defeat and announced that Lin was a winner. With this, our MC passed the examination and completed another quest for the water dragon egg. After that, the day that the king visited the academy came. Lin was among the students who were lucky enough to see His Majesty in person. The king greeted them and told them that they were the pillars of this empire's future. He also showed them the Medal of Honor that they could get upon completing the trial tower. With this, the students' spirits rose up. They will now give their best to get this special recognition. Not long after, the queue to enter the tower piled up, and some of the students were still doubting Lin's capabilities. The one who's present when he battled Professor Yisha then appeared and defended Lin. This student at the back also got interested in Lin's presence. The girl who was doubting him turned out to be a member of the student council, and she was biased to her president, Augustine. Lin remembered this man. He then wondered ways to defeat this man. The earlier quest about defeating Augustine also appeared again. Lin had already forgotten about it. The examiner then shouted his name. Our MC has entered the portal. He was transported to the other side. Lin was transported to the first floor of the Mage Trial Tower. He thought that this looked like a place from another world. Before he entered, he also got this map from his professor. The tower consists of 9 floors, and the first 3 floors have these teleportation points in them. In these areas, there are no magic beasts guarding them. In short, these were the safe spots. Students will only be eliminated if a magic beast killed them or they were killed by another student. Lin has started to accumulate points by defeating these magic beasts. He was also able to reach the 3rd floor in no time. He then used the teleportation point on the 3rd floor to advance further. He was transported to the 4th floor. Lin knew that starting from here, he needed to be more careful. There's also this guy who was waiting for him in here. Meanwhile, outside the tower, the king was just patiently waiting. Professor Yisha was also staring at the tower. They couldn't see anything that was happening inside, but they could see where the students were currently at because of these lanterns outside the tower. And right now, most of the students were already on the 4th floor. The Trial Mage Tower was divided into 3 parts. The first 3 floors were the easiest ones. Students only needed to defeat magic beasts. The 4th floor up to 6th floor were called task stages, where students need to complete a task. Half of them will be eliminated here. And as for the last 3 floors, they need to defeat magic beasts that were 7th to 9th rank. Professor Yisha was now wondering how far Lin would be able to go through. Back to our MC. The condition for the 4th floor was shown. Students need to defeat a magic beast, and each beast is worth 200 points. In order to move to the next round, students only needed to score at least 1,000 points. But those students who defeat fellow students will be deducted 1,000 points. Lin started thinking about a strategy for this floor. He knew that he needed to defeat magic beasts way before anyone else because of its supply. And while he was hurrying, Lin let his guard down. And this was the perfect time for this mysterious man to attack. He threw a magic vial towards Lin and casted a fireball, and it made the vial burst. A fog then surrounded our MC. He was also confused because students will only get deduction points if they defeat another student. Lin tried fleeing away, and this guy was successful on his plan. Lin was now marked 10 minutes earlier. This guy was with the group of Augustine. He's annoyed because his leader had his attention towards Lin. This guy has been wanting his leader's recognition. He even challenged Augustine to a duel. He told him that he was already a 4th rank mage, but Augustine rejected his duel and said that he was too weak. He then got annoyed and made a bet with his leader. If this guy scores more than Lin, he will get to fight Augustine, and that made him swear that he'll not let Lin get a single point. Meanwhile, our MC was still busy looking for magic beasts. He saw one, but then it was attacked by other students. He's now struggling to get some points. Every time he sees a magic beast, there's always someone who attacks it first. There were only 89 magic beasts left. He then saw these students killing another beast. He heard their conversation. They were just following Lin and were stealing the beasts that he found. Lin knew that this was wrong and grabbed the one who said this. He then asked them what this was all about. The other students threatened Lin, but he knew they would not dare to attack him because their points would get deducted. As for this student named Alan, Lin has no intention of letting him go. Since he has nothing to lose, Lin will drag him down as well. Alan then told him the truth. The guy with the red hair earlier told them to do it. Turns out, the guy who threw a vial at him marked his spot. Lin saw a sign above him. This was from a guy named Cern. Lin remembered the time when he got this sign. Alan was scared of Cern, so he did what he told him to do. And now there were only 36 magic beasts left. Out of his desperation, Lin casted a fire spring upwards. The sign was not getting erased. Meanwhile, this guy was just chilling, knowing that Lin was already running out of time. But then he saw something. The sign started to double. Lin revealed that he could easily imitate these signs. Multiple marks then started to appear. This guy was desperate. He then decided to kill more magic beasts to hinder Lin more. Most of the students have completed their tasks, but our MC was still fighting for his spot. He now has 600 points. He only needed to kill 2 more beasts, but there were only 8 left. As he searched for more, another notification shocked him. Right at that moment, there's only 1 magic beast left. Lin knew what this meant. He's furious because even if he managed to find the last one, his points will not be enough. But then this popped out. A bounty event activated because there's only 1 magic beast left. This beast will have a random point reward ranging from 0 to 999. This gave our MC hope. He then rushed on searching for this last magic beast. Some of the students who were still hoping to pass this floor also started searching. Meanwhile, this girl reported to Augustine that Cern may have gone too far this time. She told him that Cern casted a spell on Lin to mark him, but Augustine didn't really care. He thought that those who could survive this tower didn't need any excuses. If Lin can't pass this floor, he's not worthy at all. Our MC was still searching for the last beast, but there's only 15 minutes left. He then asked the system to use his title. Lin used the Wolf King and summoned multiple wolves to help him find the beast. Students were confused on where these wolves came from. Not long after, one wolf howled, and it was also heard by other students. Lin knew that this wolf found something, and he used his teleportation array. He was then teleported near the volcano, but someone was already behind him. Lin turned his head. He saw Saren with his beach grin. Lin asked him if he had already killed the last one. Saren told him that he didn't. He just happened to be there when the wolves howled. And besides, the last magic beast seemed to be inside the volcano. Other students also came, but they were too afraid to risk their lives. Saren provoked Lin again and told him that he should just give up. But then, Lin jumped inside the volcano. There's only 2 minutes left on the clock. Lin knew that he'll not die in real life if he ever died inside this trial tower, so he risked his life. As he fell deeper, Lin felt that it was getting hotter. If he didn't inherit Ye's power, his lungs should be on fire right now. But before he falls into the lava, something suddenly hit him from behind. Lin was trapped in this spider web. He tried getting these webs off him, but he failed. He then found out that the last magic beast on this floor was this huge spider. Lin tried using his fireballs to burn the web, but it didn't work. The spider then attacked him, and one of his legs was hit. Lin screamed in pain. The system showed Lin some information about this beast. This one was called Phantom Fire Spider, and it was a 4th rank. Its webs were also fire resistant. He then whined again because the system didn't show this earlier. The spider attacked again, and it got Lin's hand. He's really now in deep trouble. Lin figured out that he could still try and use magic, so he tried casting one. But then he got these attacks again. Lin gritted his teeth. He still completed the chant for his fire spell. Meteors then started falling down. The spider knew that this was a powerful attack, so it hid inside its shell. Our MC then tried struggling once again against these webs, but he failed again. There's also only 1 minute left. Lin then noticed that the spider only hid its head inside its shell. He thought of casting a fire serpent spell towards its head. With his final attempt, he started casting his spell. The volcano was also about to erupt, but the spider interrupted him. Lin's mouth was covered with its web. The system then revealed again that this spider liked to melt its prey first when the volcano erupted before eating it. Our MC knew that the volcano was about to erupt now. He thought that if this didn't happen, he could have won this fight. After that, the volcano really erupted. Augustine and Saren watched it from afar. This red-headed guy told his leader that they should now hurry on the 5th floor so they could do their duel. But Augustine told him that the timer was still not yet done. They still have to wait for 45 seconds. At exactly 30 seconds left, this fist appeared out of nowhere. It hit the head of the spider and managed to get some teeth off. Our MC survived the volcanic eruption because he triggered a secret skill called Lava Bath. He can now withstand the lava, same as Ye's fire immunity. Gon really did survive this fight. Oops, wrong character. I meant Lin. There's 4 seconds left before this floor concludes its challenge. Lin then stopped this spider from fleeing. He casted his fire serpent skill towards this spider, and with that, the countdown was over. Saren started to boast because he knew Lin will not survive this floor. Augustine was disappointed, but then a student saw something flying in the sky. Augustine turned his head around. All of them saw the mark where Lin was, and the mark was headed to their direction. Saren told them that it didn't matter whether Lin survived because he still failed the challenge. But then our MC did a superhero landing and told Saren that he's wrong. Lin showed them his big bounty ball. This shocked Saren. Most of the students then started to get amazed by his golden ball. But before he opened it, Lin asked if someone brought some extra clothes for him to borrow. This pink-haired lady lent him some clothes, and he thanked her for that. She told Lin that she's been eyeing him since they entered the tower because of the rumors that Lin could even rival Augustine's power. She also introduced herself, and her name was Dia. She asked Lin if he was willing to team up with her. Lin felt something strange. He thought that her smile was the same as Vivian's smile. Another fanboy then rushed towards Lin. It was Alan, the guy earlier, and he also wanted to team up with Lin. Lin tried getting rid of him, but Alan pleaded to be forgiven. They were then interrupted by Saren. He told Lin that the bounty ball doesn't guarantee him on passing the floor. He still needed to get at least 400 points from it. The moment of truth came. Lin was about to open the ball. He's now praying for his points to be enough. The ball was opened, and it only has 399 points. This broke Lin's character while Saren was laughing behind his back. This also officially concluded the challenge for the 4th floor. Saren then kept on teasing Lin, but Dai defended him. Lin asked his senior to stop. He's still devastated because he only needed 1 point to pass. But still, Lin had no regrets. He did his best for this trial tower. And then the students were transported to the next stage. Lin was also with them. He was not eliminated. Most of the students agreed with the tower because Lin's performance was really commendable except for Saren. He grabbed Lin and asked him if he cheated his way through here. This guy really had the nerve to accuse someone for cheating. Dai then stepped forward and stopped Saren from his bullshit. She told Saren that he should read the rules first before accusing Lin. The required number of participants for the 5th floor should be in even numbers because students will be fighting someone in this round. And since Lin has the highest points below 1,000, he got in. The students will also be required to get an identity card by killing magic beasts. Each beast has a chance of dropping it, but killing one magic beast deducts 200 points from the score they got from the 4th floor. So if this number reaches 0 and they haven't got any identity card, they will get eliminated. This new information annoyed Saren because it got Lin into the 5th floor. Our MC then officially made a team-up Dai. Alan also begged to be on their side this time. While Lin was trying to get him off, something was lurking behind them. Both Lin and Dai noticed it, but as soon as they turned their heads around, they found nothing. Dai told Lin that they should get going now as other teams will have the advantage killing the magic beasts. Lin finally accepted Alan, but he needed to prove himself first by exerting more effort on contributing to their team. While they were on their way, this mysterious beast was just hiding itself. Meanwhile, the king was informed that the students were now on the 5th floor. He's impressed because he thought that students this year were all capable of passing it up to the 5th floor. Professor Yisha, on the other hand, had something in her mind. She can't believe that no one was eliminated yet because no students were coming out from the tower. She felt something was wrong. Back to Lin's group. They were still killing magic beasts for the identity card. In total, they only have 14 chances on killing these monsters because they only got 2,999 points in total. They thought that they should choose their targets carefully because the higher rank the beasts were, the higher the chances that they would drop the cards. But right now, none of them got a single card. These were their current points right now. All of them only have one chance to kill a magic beast and they are starting to lose hope. Lin started thinking of some ways to pass this floor, but then a vine moved behind him. He was then entangled. Turns out, all of them got caught by this vine. Lin didn't even notice this 3rd rank beast because they were so focused on killing 5th rank ones. No one also dared to give this some attention because they knew that a 3rd rank beast wouldn't drop an identity card. Our MC only has one chance to kill another beast and he's thinking of taking care of this one. He thought it was worth it to sacrifice his spot for them. He remembered how these two defended him against Saren's accusations. That was more than enough to prove his point. Lin started casting his fire spell. Dai and Alan were shocked because of this. They didn't expect Lin to sacrifice his spot for them. Our MC then casted his fire magic towards the vines, but it was blocked by Alan's water magic. Alan got furious. He can't let Lin do something like that for them. All of them were already thinking about sacrificing themselves to save each other. But then Lin did the first move. Alan started to get guilty. He betrayed Lin at the start of the 4th floor, and now Lin was even willing to sacrifice himself for him. He casted his water magic to free them, but then Dai threw a magic vial to it. She said that he doesn't have to do anything like that. She intends to sacrifice her spot for them. Lin was starting to see how these two values their friendship. But then, the vines started to get tired. They figured out that this thing was not a 3rd rank beast because Dai's attack didn't do anything. These three then found out that this monster was a puppet tree. As for the man-eating vines, people counter it by forcing their way out of the vines. But for the puppet tree, it counters any effort that people do because its vines get tighter the more they struggle. This was the reason why the puppet tree usually disguises itself as a low-rank beast. The only way to deal with this beast was to dig out the root of the tree and destroy it. But Dai was already losing hope. They can't even get out of the vines. They then saw Lin already free from the vines, and he told them that he'll dig the root of this beast. He got freed by the vines because his body was too hard. This was a buff he got last time from the volcano encounter. His body was as sturdy as he is. While these two were still wondering how this guy got out, they started praising him. After that, Lin decided to start digging. Meanwhile, Saren was still asking Augustine for their duel. Other members of their group also started to get annoyed. This one told Saren that this duel was impossible because they can't fight someone that was not on the official matchup. Saren then asked Augustine why this guy kept on looking for Lin. Augustine approached him and showed him the identity card that he got. Turns out, Augustine's target was Lin. This lady tried to stop him showing his identity card because Saren might do something again to Lin. But their leader made a bold statement. He told Saren that he'll not be able to defeat Lin. With this, the group continued their journey and Saren was left alone. He still can't accept that his leader recognized Lin's talent more than his. Saren then flew up high. He will now be targeting Lin just to prove something to his leader. Meanwhile, back to our three musketeers. Lin was still busy digging out the root of the tree. His hand was already full of bruises. The soil in this area was as hard as a metal, and even if his hand was as sturdy as he is, he was still taking some damage doing it. All these two could do was to watch Lin do all the hard work. Lin can't also use any magic because it will make the vines tighter. But then Alan noticed something. He pointed out something that was moving behind Lin. This infuriates Lin because he found out that the reason why he can't find the root was because it was moving itself. Our MC tried to stop the root. Then a wind and water magic buff were casted to him. Lin found out that these two used their magic to help him. But in exchange, the vines just got tighter. His seniors were really struggling now. With this, Lin continued to get the root of this tree, and after some time, he managed to slice it. This was also the time that all of them felt that they were officially a team. With that, the tower congratulated them because they got an identity card. Lin was so happy because this beast dropped identity card. These two told him that he should go and take the card. But Lin revealed that there were 3 identity cards and one of them will get to qualify for the matchups. Alan and Dia were happy receiving their cards as well. The tower then revealed that this was because of their combined effort. Dia got the Guardian title because of her knowledge about this beast. Alan got the Observer title for being able to predict and finding out the root of the tree. And lastly, Lin got the Breaker title for giving the finishing blow to the magic beast. All of their efforts got recognized by the tower. These two then thanked Lin for his hard work. After that, they decided to heal and cultivate to prepare for their matchups. But Lin seemed not to be happy. He found out that his opponent will be Augustine. Dia got the vice president of the council named Greena. And Alan got Saren. As soon as he realized this, his mood changed. He started to imagine Saren's face and it scared the shit out of him. Alan then started clinging again to Lin, asking to save him from this. But then Lin saw some Oin magic coming over them. Lin used his shield to block them and told his teammates to be alert. Our MC felt that this was a strong Oin magic. Eventually, his shield broke and Lin received some damage. They found out who casted this magic spell. It was Saren. And he has this face with him now. What an eyesore. Saren told Lin that how could he expect to fight Augustine if he couldn't even handle one attack from Saren. This made Dia and Alan furious. It was clearly a cheap sneak attack. Alan asked Saren if he's not afraid of getting eliminated because he attacked Lin. Saren revealed that that attack was for Alan. Lin only got in his way. The tower wanted to eliminate someone as long as the attack was not for the other students in the area. Saren then casted another Oin magic towards Alan. Alan stepped forward. He intends to receive the attack so that Lin will not be involved anymore. A huge explosion occurred. Blood started dripping. Turns out, Lin and Dia combined their spell to create a shield that was enough to withstand Saren's attack. Lin told Alan to stand up. Our MC was starting to get annoyed with Alan's mindset. He told him that the three of them were definitely more powerful than Saren. This made Alan teary-eyed. Meanwhile, this guy still boasted about him still being more powerful than the three of them. Saren knew that both Lin and Dia couldn't attack him. So he casted another powerful oin magic. Saren replicated himself. He summoned clones to fight with him. Dia casted a buff on Lin, and he continued to protect Alan from the clones. Lin told Alan that he should locate the real Saren because he was their observer. Alan came to his senses and started chanting his spell, and he was successful in doing so. The real Saren's body started to glow. Alan pointed out to Lin where the real one was hiding. Lin quickly dashed his way towards Saren, but Saren just smiled because he knew that Lin couldn't attack him. Lin really didn't attack him, but he grabbed Saren along with him. He used the information that Saren told them earlier that the tower wouldn't eliminate them as long as they have a different target. Lin's intention was to attack himself. Saren just happened to be there. Our MC jumped off the cliff. Then he used another fire spell to boost his speed downwards. The impact was too powerful. They even made a huge dent on the ground, but Lin was fine. All he got was this huge bump in his head. Dia and Alan then showed up and asked Lin if he's okay. They also scolded him because he's always doing reckless things like this. Meanwhile, Saren still managed to get up. He then talked to Lin. He told him that he's starting to see why Augustine knew that Saren will not be able to defeat Lin. It's because of his determination. Lin then told him that if Saren really thought that he's stronger than Lin, how come he didn't fight him head-on? Saren was already a 4th rank mage. He even has more advantage when it comes to fighting experience. Lin then told him that what he lacked was confidence. He told Saren that he's too scared that he'll lose to someone like Lin. This made Saren remember his thoughts while pulling those tricks against Lin. He realized that he's been a coward all this time, and that's the reason why Augustine didn't recognize his strength. After realizing this, he told Lin that that was enough. Saren shouted at Alan that he could go and get rid of him now. Alan really did start casting his spell, and while they were waiting, Saren asked Lin if he could fight him in a real duel after this trial. Lin smiled and accepted Saren's challenge. Alan's spell was done and it was about to hit Saren, but it was deflected by a light arrow. This arrow was from the vice president of the council, Grina. She announced that the president ordered everyone to stop fighting and they should gather at the center teleportation array. Our 3 musketeers were confused because all of a sudden, the fights were being stopped. Grina then told them what really has been happening. The tower has lost control. They started to notice this because the students who were killed by the magic beasts were not being transported back outside. This includes the students who fought their way through the matchups. Lin did check the panel and noticed that it really was messed up. Grina asked Saren to get up and heal his wounds immediately because they have more things to do. Meanwhile, at the center teleportation array, these huge tentacles appeared. Lin and his group arrived and saw this thing. This student told Lin that the president thought that this was the cause of the control problem in the tower. This beast was stuck in the teleportation array and it caused the teleportation magic to malfunction. Grina then reported to Augustine that she had gathered Lin and his group. She also told him that there were already 22 confirmed deaths, 6 injured, and 3 missing students. This news made Dia and Alan scared. Augustine then addressed Lin. He told our MC that compared to those who died, Lin was lucky. Lin didn't like the tone of this statement. He thought that Augustine was implying that he should have been the one who died instead of those students. Augustine didn't deny this statement. He told him that Lin has always been lucky, starting from the day he got admitted into the academy. The president also told him that he hopes that Lin's luck will get them through this time. After that, their attention was caught by this monster. It started its attack. The magic beast has finally revealed its true form and it was gigantic. Its tentacle also has this powerful whip. Some of the students started panicking and were running around. Augustine, on the other hand, casted his lightning spell. Lin also tried attacking the beast with his fire magic. Even the cowardly Alan made his move against this beast. Students started to notice it, and this gave them motivation and courage to fight as well. These two guys have inspired all of them to fight. Both Lin and Augustine knew that their attacks did so little damage against their opponent. They were back to each other now. They both thought that they could handle the heat, but they were concerned for each other. But before they got heat, magic spells from other students saved them. They told the president that they were here to fight as well. Lin also recognized Augustine's leadership. Dai and Alan confirmed that Augustine may look arrogant, but he'll be the first one to protect the academy from these kinds of trouble. Augustine, together with the other members of the council, took the liberty to lead all the students. This guy also started to recognize Lin's influence towards other students. He knew that Lin had inspired them as well. With that, Augustine announced that everyone should now prepare for battle. Each student displayed their elite skills and prepared themselves. Green's group was in charge of analyzing the beast's movements. Cern led the formation, and the rest of them would just bombard the opponent with their most powerful spells. Augustine shouted that the operation to defeat this beast will now commence. A huge magic circle appeared below the magic beast and chains started to capture it, and while it was being held, Lin and other students casted their attack spell towards it. This was then followed by the wind spells from the other group. Their combined attacks really heat the magic beast. But then it revealed something. The magic beast casted a sound wave spell that broke all of their spells in an instant. The damage was too much. Even Cern didn't manage to endure it. Lin also started coughing blood. Most of the students were down bad. They got severely injured. Augustine thought that this was his fault, but their fight was not ever. He and Green positioned themselves again. Lin was now thinking of ways he could contribute to defeating this monster. He then remembered the skill that he learned from his training with Ye. Lin then used this powerful skill called Dragon Power. This was intended to stop the beast from moving, but the difference on their levels was too much. His move was useless. But then something started to glow. Ye just came out from his master's body, and now he's bigger than the last time. Ye roared towards the magic beast. He's now a fully grown fire dragon.